Hello and welcome to Torg's Day Night. I am JM, your GM. We are here on the Ulysses International channel and we have a very special one-shot for you. Tonight we are running a simple run, a prelude to the Pan-Pacifica arc that the Horsemen will be embarking on next week. But tonight we have very special guests and I'm going to let them introduce themselves after I give them kind of the intro. So Pan-Pacifica, as you know, is the cosm that has, it's hard to say taken over, or invaded. It's insidiously subverted many of the nations in East Asia. Gotta pull my notes up. The Kanawa Corporation has recently saved many of these nations from a strange malady that was producing zombies and other sorts of strange mutations and has since been hailed as the savior. But the Delphi Council knows that not everything is as it seems. And so through Maru, one of their agents in Pan-Pacifica, they have contacted a group known as Bureau G to go and enter into the Nanjing Corporation, a subsidiary that has been absorbed by the Kanawa Corporation, in order to recover some artifacts that have some Eternity Shards that are reportedly being studied at this remote and very secure location in Shanghai. So before we get into that, let's introduce our special guests for tonight. We're going to start with, I don't know where he is on the screen, but he is somewhere here. We're going to start with Mark, who you know as Anton and Archibald. From the other Torg games. Mark, introduce yourself, give us the name of your character, give us a little bit of background so that everyone in the chat and in Bureau G knows who you are and what you can do.
I am playing Kano. He's pretty much a gun for hire, started his career in the Kanawa Corporation and then left and got picked up for his special abilities in the Bureau, namely shooting people and breaking in.
You may recognize him from Friday nights on the iconic production channel. Josh is our guest tonight. It's his very first time playing Torg. Normally he runs our 5th edition game, but Josh, can you introduce your character, tell us their name, and kind of, as you understand it, kind of, because we built him, what, like a week ago?
I totally remember everything that you told me. I am Leopold Decker, aka Frenchie. I'm from the cyber papacy. Mm-hmm. I worship machines. But the machine in all of us.
That's right.
I suppose I am here because something's up with the Kanawa Corporation, and they're messing around with tech that I want to worship. Or incorporate into me, which is the same thing.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah, I have a bunch of drones that I send all over the place, and from the pregame assessment, I might have the most toughness. I was not planning on being on the front line, but
you are one toughness shy of the highest in the group.
Oh, fantastic.
You're number 2. Welcome to being a tank.
Perfect. Yes, I built a character around stealth drones and fooling retina scans, and apparently I'm going to be in the front. So,
you may not be able to recognize him due to being an international man of mystery, but we're going to go with Restar here, who you may recognize. I don't recognize him, but you may recognize from the B team where he plays Malachi. Go ahead, introduce yourself, introduce your character.
I am Giorgio Asakura, but most people call me Joe the Condor. My parents were scientists for a mega corporation who were killed when they refused to do experiments that went against their morality. In other infiniverses, perhaps I would have been saved by Dr. Nambu and become a member of Gatchaman. But in this infiniverse, I was trained by the corporation to become a flying, power-suited sniper, and only recently have discovered the truth about my parents' murder.
You may recognize this next person from chat. It is my pleasure to have Mr. Furious here as one of our players for this one-shot. Greg, welcome.
Thank you. My character is Kuahata Sanjuro. I am an electric samurai, and I have gone as far as one can go down the path of the sword, and I ride my Ishido special into battle to cut down my enemies. And I have no past because I erased it.
You erased it.
Even I don't know who I am.
Interesting. I'm sure that won't come up in game tonight.
Surely not.
And last but not least, you may know him as is it VG Greg in the chat?
VBG Greg, yeah.
Yep, or you may know him because his name is in the book. Welcome to Greg. Greg, go ahead and give us your introduction and tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Greg Gordon, line developer at Torg Eternity. My character is Auditor 17. The Auditor program is a Kanawa Corporation venture because there's sort of debate to stem corruption in the subsidiaries. You can cheat customers, you can cheat competitors, you can't cheat the mother corporation.
That's right.
The auditors go out and check the books, but we can do, we can either do forensic auditing or we can use a little more violence to clean up the ledger.
Right.
Depends on what we find.
So
You do
it's
forensics on your auditing.
Yeah, hostile takeovers have a completely different meaning when the auditors get involved. And there's no sweating behind the GM screen tonight to have Greg on the other side of the GM screen. So, so night has fallen on Shanghai as the five of you approach the Nanjing building. It's a nondescript building in downtown Shanghai. Most of the exterior walls and windows have been treated with a highly reflective surface. So you can't actually tell what is a window and what is just the wall. It all just sort of reflects the neon of the city. As bikes and cars go racing past down the main street, all you see is the neon lights kind of stretched out slowly, reflecting in this strange surface. So as we start, as I said, the mission, the intent is to find the lab where they are studying these Eternity Shards. Now, I guess this is really up to you guys. How do you plan? Like, how do you want to get into the building? You have an auditor. So there is the go in the front door and talk it. There's always, you have a breaking and entering specialist, so there's a way there. You have somebody who can fool retina scans. So I'm going to let you know what Maru has kind of passed on to you is that they know that the lab is on floor 15. They also know that that lab is highly locked down. It is not just where they are, it's where they conduct their most clandestine research. There's even rumors. Maru has heard a lot of rumors about this place, but there's even rumors that the Nanjing Corp, they may be working with other Kazams, and they may be doing it under or away from the eyes of the Kanawa Corporation, which is possibly why Auditor 17 is here. The fact that you can, as he said, you can cheat other people, but you never cheat the Mother Corp. And if they're doing Eternity Shard research for other Cosms, that would sort of be a big no-no. So, as you... Hey! Welcome to the chat. It's always good to see you. I'm starting to see things kind of filter in. Zero Earth Element, good to see you. Certified Torganic, it was great to play with you last week. So, how do you guys want to approach this? It is after hours. You can see that, the night has come out over Shanghai, so everything is brightly lit. But as you look up, you can there's so much light pollution that you can only barely get the feeling that maybe it's night 17 stories up, but you can't really tell because, again, this is this is a hyper modern city.
And is it
there a parking garage?
business hours?
It is not business hours.
Okay.
It is
And-
after business hours.
To clarify, we're
I-
going to recover the Eternity Shards? or
Yes.
just-
JM, may I ask you a question?
Let me answer Sanjuro. Yes, there is a parking garage right next door.
Is there one in the building that we can go down under into ground?
There is indeed.
Hmm.
What were you
So
going to
that could
ask,
be-
Joe or Condor or? I mean, you gave me like 17 names, man. Or sorry, not to be confused with Auditor 17.
Too much is my brand, but also, what is the exterior toughness of floor 15? Because I'm fairly certain that if we can breach it, I can fly through it, and if there's a nearby parking garage structure that goes up 15 floors, I mean, yeah, go up a certain amount, but we can just go through the outer wall, baby.
All right, so there is a parking garage underneath. The exterior toughness of the building is advanced. It is an advanced polymer coating, but you're guessing. So I have to answer these questions. These are always questions that you get to ask and get answered for you in Torg. It is 14 with toughness, with 4 of that being armor.
I'll ask the group, but I would sort of like to go in the front door since I should be able to get in and save our breaking and entering for a little later in the building. Or do
That
we
seems
want to start?
wise.
That's
So-
fine. So we all
Because
need to walk in
as
with
a-
briefcases behind you?
Because the idea is auditors are supposed to poke and probe around and find out what's going on. So it gives you a perfect excuse to wander around. And I can try to get onto the main computer system and actually look at the books while fiddling with any stuff you guys need fiddled with. So
Now we know this isn't a normal, I guess, run. So is it possible? I mean, would they know that an auditor is coming?
no, the whole point of these
Okay.
things is that they show up and they take a look at your books and whatever else they want to. This
Okay.
is definitely a hostile move by somebody farther up in the corporate ladder. In other words, they do not trust you.
Yeah.
If
Well,
it's an
an auditor showing up is a very clear sign that someone's head is on the platter, and a lot of times, like, literally.
Okay.
Like,
I can walk in with you in case they take a sudden auditor poorly, and I can be. I guess it says I can fool retina scans. Does that mean I can just make the retina scan think that I'm whoever I want it to?
yeah,
Cool.
it's-
You might.
So is
We
there
might
any?
need you to get into the lab part where he gets us in the building. We go up to the 15th floor.
Yeah.
Or we can't get in the lab door, and then you can go beep beep beep. Do your thing.
But I can also walk in. Is this like? I mean, as soon as you walk in the building, you're scanned and they know
You
who
don't
you
know.
are.
All right, so I have Auditor 17 and Frenchie going in the front
Yeah.
door. It sounded
So
like
I can go in. I will put it in the briefcase.
all right.
Is that a gun?
Sanjiro and Joe, are you
Sounds
going
like-
in, or do you want to go in through the parking garage? What's
I'm trying to figure out how to get my bike to the 15th floor.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll ride right behind you. I'm holding on like Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. Let's go into this parking garage.
I mean, you could go down into the parking garage. I do feel like it's well within genre to have the elevator ding, and as it opens up, you being there.
That was exactly what I was thinking. So I went to try to ride up as far as I could get my elevator, either there or into a stairwell where I ride up.
All right,
I
we'll start
also
with.
really want to see my cape do this as we go around the spiral of the parking garage. It's flapping behind us.
All right, well, we'll start with Auditor 17, and then we'll jump over to the parking garage crew.
Before we go,
So-
how many drones do I have?
You got one. You got
I
the,
just have
you
one.
got the hard light drone. Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. Can I send that one to just follow the other
Yeah.
group? Because it can communicate,
Yeah.
it can watch, it can send me all of
He's
the
got
data.
this hard light drone just sort of materializes and starts floating next to Joe, and as you take off, it just
And it's extremely difficult to see.
All right.
So anything you want us to know, tell or show the drone, and that immediately gets downloaded to me.
Yep. All right, Auditor 17, you have two other auditors with you. Kano looks the part of the impending violence, and Frenchie definitely looks like the bleeding edge of technology.
All right. So when the doors open, I'm sort of going to pretend to be in mid-conversation talking to these two, just like this is perfectly normal operation. And he knelt down, he started sniffing the pitcher's mound. You can't tell me that's not a gene mod injection. They say it's clean, but there's absolutely no way. And I'm just keep talking. I walk up to the desk and nodding, hold him and say, yeah, they really ought to change the KBO's name to Menagerie League Baseball or something. This is just completely ridiculous. Oh yeah, by the way, sir, we're here for an audit.
You can have a possibility for that, because that was fantastic. As you walk in, Auditor 17 is talking to the two of you. You guys can see there's this, the floor is this glossy black marble. The reception desk is this massive horseshoe made out of the same material. And as you walk in, the gentleman in, just the sharpest suit, kind of, his head comes up, and he doesn't so much walk from the right-hand part of the horseshoe to the middle as he sort of zips to the middle and is standing there. And as you approach, you can see that his eyes under the eyelids are chrome. And as you say, they're here for
Auditor 17. I assume I still have the legit auditor's badge. Since
yeah, of course.
I'm sort of double editing.
Yeah.
I hand that to him. And unfortunately, I also must mention that I have the, sold out card, so I have to play immediately when drawn. So some NPC ally will inevitably betray us at some point during the adventure.
Ooh, and when that happens, depending on the level of betrayal, you will get between 1 and 3 possibilities each. All right.
Is that what the white number at the bottom left?
No, that's just the
That's
deck.
just the card.
That just tells us what card in the deck it is.
Okay.
So if you need to reorder, Josh is going to be our everyman. How does this work? Well, let me explain it to you. So you hand the card, and Auditor 17, you can immediately see he kind of grabs the card in a very awkward fashion, in the fact that his fingertips kind of hit the edge that you were holding, so the whole thing rests in his palm, and all of you see this green glow emanate from his hands. The eyes widen. At once, Auditor. What? I can have a conference room set up for you. Do you need to be looking at anything? I will alert the.
If you could find a conference room next to one of your vending machine break areas, that'd be fine. This is going to take a while. And I don't want to have to leave the building while it's ongoing.
No, I will. Would floor 12 work for you?
Sure.
He sends over to your device. Basically, here's the layout of the building. Here's kind of the place to go. I will alert the CSO, the Chief Security Officer. She will meet you there in 17 minutes, assuming traffic. And
Excellent.
you guys all know this is an artificial being. You've never seen an artificial being be nervous?
Can I interrupt and tell him to not notify the CFO?
You're welcome to.
Sure. Notifying the CFO will not be necessary.
It looks from you to Auditor 17. Do you give a nod there? Like no CSO?
It's not necessary, but if they come, they should be ready to be interrogated, because that's part of the protocol. It's their choice, of course.
Meanwhile, in the parking garage, the first thing we hear is "wee!" I assume, as as Sanjuro is racing through this thing, and Joe is holding onto the back, Kate magnificently blowing in the breeze.
Keep it down back there.
So you get to the parking garage. It does spiral down, and at the base level, you can see that there are two sets of elevators. There's kind of the personal elevator, and then there's a large cargo elevator. Both of them appear to be security controlled.
Turn around and talk to the drone. Tell them we need the cargo elevator in the parking garage opened.
I will interrupt. In order to bring in some of our equipment for reviewing your files, we need the garage door in the parking opened.
Again, you can see the green light on the card, and he kind of sets it down and slides it back to Auditor 17, and the cargo door kind of opens up.
Thank you.
There's enough room in there that you can make a tight, like you can get in and still have room to make that tight turn, so you're ready for when the doors open up again.
Right. Excellent. We head to floor 12. Wait a minute.
Cheyenne, is this one of those elevators that might have an escape hatch or a safety mechanism on the top of the elevator?
Of course it is.
Oh, okay, so it would be possible for me to get on top of the elevator and directly fly up to the 15th floor.
If you would like to do that, you are welcome to make that attempt. I feel like qualifying as an attempt is always the...
Can I have the drone make the sound of an
I have
elevator?
multiple choices. So, should I, gentlemen, fly up to the 12th floor and bust it open so that we can then continue en masse to the 15th floor, or should I know that you guys are crazy awesome on your own and just blow a big ass hole in the door on floor 15?
I would prefer that be step 2. Step 1, I get down and into their systems, perhaps with the help of Frenchie, and we find out what we can about their security systems before we kick the door down.
All right, so this is what I will do, given that advice. I am going to talk to Hardlight Drone like it's a real thing, and be like, "Come with me, Hardlight Drone. We are the first, and we shall arrive before them, and we shall prepare for our friends to have the most success possible." So,
The Hardlight
Drone
drone
and
flashes
I
green.
will fly together to floor 12 and hover, waiting for the bike, the elevator, and our compatriots.
All right. Auditor 17, you can see that this green light starts to emanate from the actual stone, and it like starts outlining a path to the elevator for you guys. And soon the three of you stand in this elevator. There is, I assume, music of some sort, and you have been you are informed that your auditor badge will now give you access to, it is basically like a VP level access to the whole of the facility.
How many floors in the building?
There are 21 floors in the building. It comes into your, am I pronouncing it correctly, Greg? Your Zuzas?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Your little smartphone that has been delivered to everyone in Pan Pacifica?
Yeah.
So we just hit 15 and go right to 15?
I literally would like to set up a command post on 12,
Okay.
recon from there for a second, and then hit 15 once we have an inkling of what we're getting into.
Okay.
All right. So soon, the three of you, the doors open, and again you see the little green light, and it is. At first, there's no lights on the floor; it's all out. But as soon as you step out, the lights kind of flash on, and one of the walls goes translucent, and you can see it's actually the wall of a conference room. There's a large mahogany table, big, heavy leather, like overstuffed chairs. This is a corporate facility. You can also hear that, see that because Auditor 17 specifically requested, like next to the vending machine, there's a small like espresso bar that is completely automated, and next to that there is it looks a little bit like a vending machine, but there's nothing in it. But you can see that there is sort of a metallic like roll door next to it. Just saying, that's what you that's the chat is definitely saying kick all the doors down. So the chat encourages the B team behavior in all of my Torg groups. So you can clearly see that is sort of where the lights are leading you. The door opens up. Auditor 17 kind of you can hear an elevator ding, like several hallways down, and as you then hear the sound of a motorcycle engine being revved.
We're leaving a strip in the elevator on the way out.
Yeah, and then you guys all hear the tires squeal, and kind of threading his way through. You assume this is where they grow people. It's a cubicle farm. You can see Senjiro kind of weaving, and you also see Joe, who is apparently talking to his new best friend, the Hard Light stealth drone from the Cyber Papacy. So soon you are in this conference room. You all like Auditor 17 from your Zuzis. You can like opaque the windows again. You can make them completely opaque. You can make them one-way reflective. You can actually seal the room for security if you want. There are a number of access ports on the table where you can plug in devices. You can access the mainframes, that sort of thing.
The auxiliary port?
Yeah, it's a small access port, about 2 meters across. It's located right below the primary access port. But wait, no, that's a different.
Can I attempt to use that to monitor ingoing and outgoing calls from the front desk?
Yes, you can give me a computer roll.
Yeah, you need to take control.
And then Auditor 17, what are you doing?
I would like to get onto the system. I've got meat space manipulation, so
Okay.
I want to go and see if there are any security systems that are on the 15th floor that I can access, and if so, I'll put them into analysis mode, so they'll go through and do a security check for the next 20 minutes or so.
Okay, so put them on a loop, essentially.
So
Yeah, they'll be a
Diagnostics,
diagnostic.
right? Yeah.
They're doing test mode.
I have everyman questions.
Okay, I'll come right back to you. Go ahead and make your roll, Greg. Josh.
Okay, so I rolled a 16. Now I look down here.
Yep. So a 16 is +3
Okay.
to whatever your final value is of computers.
What my final value is of computers. Okay, so if it's 14, I get a 17.
You get a 17.
Gotcha.
And so essentially, the way this works is, in Torg, your final value is the most important number. The die will adjust that up and down.
Okay.
But you have if 10 is the standard target number, you've got a really good idea of, okay, if I've got a 14 on average, I'm always going to beat a standard target number.
Okay.
But monitoring the incoming and outgoing calls was a challenging task, so it's a 12.
Okay.
So you beat it by 5, which means you got a good success.
Okay.
So what that means is generally it's just a better version of the success. So in this case, you can clearly hear as you start. There's a couple of like people working late. Like you start getting the voices in your head. No, I'm sorry. The boss is really riding me, honey. I know it's our anniversary, but if I don't finish this up, I won't have a job tomorrow. that call goes south quickly. There's another guy who's very clearly using corporate resources for like personal calls. He's definitely seems to be playing some sort of MMO over his office line.
That never happens.
But the real thing is you can hear a woman's smoky voice is talking to the person at the front at the desk, and it's like, no ma'am, no, all of the credentials were accurate. No, we are being audited. And you can just hear her voice. I will be down there in a half hour. Make sure to activate security protocols on all level 6 and above projects. And so that will be the betrayal, the sold out, the animatronic robot receptionist. He definitely sold you out. So I'm going to give everyone 2 possibilities for this, because it's going to put certain areas of the building on heightened alert. So 2 extra for you, 2 extra for you.
And remind me what I do with these again?
If you want your die roll to be higher,
That's right.
and if you want to soak damage.
Ah, okay.
The reality roll.
Greg, what did you get on your roll?
Well, first I'd like to ask, what was the DN?
The DN to put floor 15, to access floor 15 was a hard task, so it was a DN 14.
Okay, I will spend a possibility because I'm currently at a 17, but I'd like to get a good result.
You need to take control now before they lock it down.
Right. So that's 16 is 8. That's 22 total.
All right. Well, that is definitely a good success. Do you want to kick it up to outstanding? Do you have a card you want to play?
I unfortunately have no such card.
All right. Well,
What do you need? I have an action.
I don't. Well, we're not in rounds yet, are technically.
Yeah, you're not.
So,
in
yeah,
round.
we-
So yeah, you can trade cards. You can do.
Would you like an adrenaline, second chance?
So I can give
Those are both good. I always like second chances.
I mean, I can give
There you
an
go.
action
You can have a
and
second
free.
chance.
Yeah, he's doing that as
Great.
well.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Various cards are
Trade
All
it.
right.
similar. Some are restricted.
Oh,
Well-
so, yeah, so, wow, so I have 3.
All right. Well, with a outstanding success, you start to put this in place, and the security measures come up, and you put them in their auditing mode, and you still have access to all of the visuals where there are cameras. What you see is that floor 15, they have cameras in the halls and in the common areas, but the labs do not have any recording devices in them. But what you can tell with an outstanding success is that Lab 3 seems to be where they are studying it's artifact research. Lab 2 is just regular R&D things, and you know that the Nanjing Corporation it is a research facility that is working with the Kanawa Corp to continually try and push the boundary of the tech. So they're kind of helping, advance the tech axiom. So they're bleeding edge research in electronics. So things like the powered armor, surveillance equipment, personal electronics, that sort of thing. The other thing, though, that's really strange is Lab 1 has no designation. You know that with an outstanding success on your computer roll, not even a VP level security card will get you in there, and that there is a ton of power and nutrient-rich fluid that is going into that lab.
So they're developing batteries?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you say nutrient rich,
Yeah. I feel like it's self-explanatory. It's a fluid that
Sounds like a
is.
nice guy.
It's chocked full of nutrients.
Yeah.
Well, in the Rochambeau of Office Security, Gotchaman Fist beats VP access anyway, so I think we'll be able to get into
That
Lab
is
1.
probably very true.
So, all right, shall we, gentlemen? The only question is, do you want me to remain here and try to set up distractions, or should we not split the party?
One other thing I will just say.
You.
Sorry about that, Ben. I will say the other thing that you notice is that there are security. There's security on floors 14, 15, and 16. Actual corporate security wandering on patrols on those 3 floors.
How many?
There are 7 of them. What you can tell is there's definitely 7 on each floor, if that makes sense. That kind of, I mean, this is a massive building, so to Auditor 17's eyes, these 7 guys are, essentially patrolling what amounts to like a half city block. So out of the 7, there is clearly a 2 who are in that you can kind of see are in charge. The guy in charge is definitely wearing kind of the Kawana security armor. There is also one person who is wearing kind of the eerie mesh armor, and the other guys, they are wearing try to see what we've got here. The Gosuku armor, the Ion armor, is what the rest of the security force are wearing. So
I have a play, gentlemen. I was thinking about this earlier as one of the choices, but now I realize it is both a choice and a distraction. If you could make your way to the top of the elevator, I would like to cut the... Okay, we need to open the elevator door on, 15? That's important. Okay. But I would like to use the momentum of the falling elevator to propel us forward. And while you guys jump off at 15, I will breach the roof as a distraction. I'll just fly straight through it. And hopefully all of the attention will go to the roof. And if I need to fly back down the hole, at least I made a hole.
I'm
So
just
this is
the
the great
GM.
glass elevator approach?
I will adjudicate any plan that you come up with. I'm going to leave this to you guys, though. You guys come up with your plan. Tell me what you want to do.
Do we think that
Perhaps it's time for a flashback.
Well, looking at the security patrols, do they go in pairs? Are they single? Are they spread out enough so it's like one person at a time?
They always are in pairs.
Gotcha.
Is there a pattern?
Not that you can discern in the 15 minutes that you were kind of looking. If you guys want to give me an evidence analysis roll, I would allow that to try and discern the pattern of the. Does anyone have evidence analysis?
I
I
do.
do.
Ooh.
with my current access to communications, would there be a way that I could shut them, interfere with their communication?
You would have to make a new roll for that because
A new roll.
you
But
basic.
I could access it from here.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I could.
So after
send
my
it to the-
after my evidence analysis roll, I conclude that they're walking.
Yeah. They are definitely
I
doing
got 12.
that. And as they walk, I described them walking, and so did they walk. You got a 12. So here's the thing. It is at first with a 12, Sanjuro, you kind of. There is a pattern. It is not totally random, but the thing that you notice is that, one, they always stay in line of sight of at least one other team. So as they're kind of moving through these areas, they are always kind of, one pair of two will stand at the corner of a lab with eyes to another pair, two other pairs of two who have eyes to kind of the other part of the squad. However, there is a blind spot. There is a way that you would have about 2 minutes in a hallway, if you timed it right, where no one would have eyes on a hallway, if that makes sense. Like, if you time it right, you could have basically 2 minutes to get a lab open and get into it and close the door before the patrols came back around.
How austere
Great.
are the hallways?
Ooh.
Like for stealth.
I just love the way you asked that question. They're sort of picturesque, maybe bucolic. No, they are pretty empty, right? This is basically a Tech 26 clean room. So the hallways are.
It's like home.
It's there are static fields that kind of make sure all of the dirt and dust kind of drop down. It's a completely sealed floor, so the air gets recycled there, run through HVAC systems and purifiers to make
So
sure.
no potted plants or Ming vases or.
No, you would have to go full Kronk and be like.
I do have chameleon clothes.
Fire alarm. The old regular security systems within the building. This is a complete fire alarm situation. Yeah. All right. I'll step out to the roof.
All right, so what's the plan? I hear.
That might be something because I have pretty good stealth, but if there's really nothing,
But
I
remember,
can always attempt it. But if there's nothing much, to
stealth
hide
is not
behind-
just about hiding. It's about moving quietly and moving
Yes, but-
in ways to make sure that you are not seen. So Mr. Furious did come up with he can get you 2 minutes in
Yep.
the hallway.
I might be able to extend that if I can mess with their communications and actually, maybe without blowing a hole in the roof, just direct, basically send communications saying,
Like,
hey,
go check this door.
Yeah, we've got a thing off in this, the opposite corner of this floor, and so I could possibly extend our 2 minutes.
How much of a distraction do you need?
We just keep them away from that blind spot. Now, can that blind spot? Can we get to the lab?
Oh, yeah.
3?
Actually, which lab are we going for? 3?
We want to go 3 first, right?
3 first?
Do we really care about what the other
That's a
labs?
good question. I mean,
If that's listed as
I
an
think
artifact,
that-
that's probably where we need to go.
Well, and you also have Auditor 17. You got any input here?
I understand that we have somebody who wants to punch a hole in the building. I'm
You
wondering if
do.
I might
It seems very clear he definitely
Yeah.
wants to blow a hole in this building.
but I could open up some sensitive files. He could come around and break into the 12th floor, which creates a security breach on the floor I'm in, which I can report, and they'll see that I'm looking at sensitive files. And then while the rest of the team starts to go up, and I can, talk them through the problem, and he can even break things around me. I can explain the danger I'm in, and that will not look good on the report. And then these guys can go start smashing up 15, and we'll figure out a way to join them later on.
right. And I will go up with the other group to the lab floor, and they'll try to sneak up in the 2-minute window. And if we don't have the 2-minute window, I buy them the time that they need to get in the door.
I will
Okay,
let
so-
you you can't have your bike on while you're sneaking, or otherwise I'm gonna make those
No,
rolls
the bike-
unfavorable.
The bike is going to have to stay on the 12th floor.
Okay. I promise you will have a cool bike scene tonight. I'm not
All
going
right.
to deprive you of that.
It's not like a silent electric bike.
So I'd like to ask Frenchie to assign the drone to our costume friend so we
Yep.
can maintain contact and time our security breach with their about to hit floor 15.
Okay. So
All right.
I have Frenchie, Sanjiro, and Kano
Kano
going to the 15th floor. I have Auditor 17 and Joe on the 12th floor. Joe is going to blow up a window. and then attack the conference room.
I think I'm staying on the 12th floor.
Are you
so
staying on the
that's-
12th with Auditor 17?
Yeah, I thought Auditor 17 and I were on the 12th floor. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm-
you can stay there. I don't know if you need to come up or to try to get into the lab.
Yeah, no, I think
You-
I'm staying with
you might-
Auditor 17 and sending my drone with them so
Okay.
that they can communicate with us. Was
Wait,
that the plan?
okay, I have a specific plan for Joe, which is to actually try to draw down draw the security down. So as I assume everyone has to take the elevator up to get to the 15th, right?
Well, I'm
Yes.
sure there's more than one elevator.
There are multiple elevators. There are 3 in the building.
The best thing is if as their elevator goes up, I'm gonna go down and blow a hole in like the 3rd floor, and then fly back up to the 12th with the auditor,
Okay.
and then blow out a window.
So you're gonna try and get them to
they
scramble
know where
to
I
2 different.
came from, and hopefully that confuses them more.
All right, so here's what I need from everybody. I need stealth rolls from those who are going to 15. These will be favorable because of the information that Auditor 17 gave you. I need blow things up roll from Ben, and then I need your trick roll.
Trick, not computer?
You're in the system. You are trying to trick them into pulling them away from one side. You got possibilities, man. That's the whole
I do
point of
have
it.
possibilities. Do I have to spend one beforehand?
No, you can spend it after. And then Auditor 17, from you want to access sensitive files. So can you give me a computers roll? And
I
then
can.
I will stitch all of these rolls together.
Definitely spending a possibility.
Okay, so remember, you
Okay.
keep that initial number,
Okay.
you roll another d20, and add it to that first
Add
number.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much better than what I thought it was.
All right. Well, my roll is 22 for a total of 19.
All right, so I have. Okay.
Sorry, jerked.
And remember, if that second roll is less than 10, it counts as a 10.
Oh, that's so much better.
Yeah.
5.
So it counts as a
That's
10
much
plus the
better.
first number.
Cool. 14
Yeah.
for trick.
Welcome to Torg.
Yeah, that's way. Like, I'm so locked into 5th edition where it's like, I rolled low, I'm dead. No.
No, yeah.
You've got all the meta currencies. You spending one?
Spending one.
All right, so I have 19 from Mr. Furious. What was your stealth?
20.
20. I've got a 14.
Only because I rolled really crappy.
Don't forget, it's favorable, so you can.
Yeah, my first 2 rolls were 2 and 3.
Yeah, definitely time for a possibility. Auditor 17, what did you get?
I spent the possibility. My total is 21.
Okay, what was your total, Josh?
14.
14, and then Joe, what are you using to blow things up? I just need to I need to see this. In the cache.
Oh, really? Oh my goodness. Oh, I have it here on my sheet. Hold on. That's terrible, actually. I am using. Oh, that's a SC Kyogo T11.
Okay, what did you get on your blow things up roll?
Well, I'm going to assume that you allowed me to aim.
Yeah, sure.
So,
That seems.
nothing's coming.
I'm magnanimous. That
So
seems like
that'll
something
take
I would
it
do.
to a 22 shooting at an unmoving door.
All right. So, we're going to start actually with Auditor 17 and sort of work our way in a circle. So, with a 21, you have the whole of the corporate files at your beck and call. One.
Okay.
So I will give you just sort of a high-level list of things. If you would like to know what you're looking at, I would be more than happy to share that. So you have their financials. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So my plan is I want to start by opening up the financials, and then I want to time when I know that Joe's going to attack.
Yeah.
I want to have opened up the research section files just prior to that.
Okay.
So I can call in and say, I just opened up the files, somebody broke in. So I could use some assistance. So that's my plan: is to start looking at the financials and find out where see if I can find out if they've been sending money to other cosms or stuff along the way. But I'm really trying to back up Joe's play of making his assault somehow timed with, the fact that I opened up the research files.
All right.
Should my drone roll stealth as well?
No, I'm just gonna. Okay. I'm gonna assume that your drone is
Translucent.
working with these guys because you got like Camille. Do you want to roll? Because I know you like built this.
No,
drone.
I just
Okay.
wanted to make sure.
All right. So Auditor 17, what you discover is, right. You're an auditor. You've seen a lot of
Numbers.
cooked books. There's that. We allow a certain amount of corruption, right? We allow a certain amount of cooking. But as you start looking at this, I mean, you got an outstanding success. So there is a lot of money being funneled into the Nanjing Corp from Russian and French accounts that are definitely funding this off-book research in Lab 3. Like, you're able to kind of, like, you blow up all of the files, they're kind of presented before you, and you're like, yeah, no, this is definitely, there were paper trails, electronic trails leading back to both Russia and France. Now, as you open up, like, Joe is in communication with you, so you open up the research files, and again, you got those three things. There's like advanced electronics, whatever's going on in Lab 1, and this new Lab 3 is the one that's been recently open. It's only been open about 4 weeks, and it is linked to a file that was transferred out of Moscow. Like the money and whatever is in Lab 3 was transferred out from Russia. Joe, it's spectacular. Like, you blow a hole in floor 3, you then fly up to floor 12, and Auditor 17, you definitely hear that second explosion.
Okay, so I will patch in at that point to the communications of the building. Like, I'm calling downstairs, and I'll say, I've detected and I heard a breach. I've just opened up the security files. This means they're available to anybody can get to this room, so I need security assistance. You don't have to send everybody, just those who want to be employed next week.
Can I get a intimidate or a trick roll from you here?
Sure.
Greg, because that was spectacular. Meanwhile, what are you saying to the group on floor 15?
Who's he talking to? Auditor 17.
Auditor 17's talking to the main desk.
Oh, the main desk. Okay. So to the people on floor 15, it's coming across as a lot of static, and then this team's communication to the others says, hey, we need a little bit of help over on this part. This team's communications are interfering with that and going to this other group saying, hey, we need help over here instead, send a couple. So they're a little bit more scattered, but I'm trying to time some of that for that 2-minute window.
Okay.
So right as they were approaching that corridor where he is, then they get the communication and go, okay, shoot, we gotta head off this way just to pad that 2 minutes a little bit.
Well, the nice thing is that even with a 14, none of these guys have good tricks. So combined, and then what did you get, Auditor 17?
16 total.
Okay, so with the two of you combined, you guys, the doors open and you start sneaking down and you start to see that shadow on the wall, and it goes, crap, we're being reassigned. The building's under attack, and they head down the other direction. So, Auditor 17, Frenchie, and Joe, I will come back to you. Joe, I assume you're just like shooting random cubicles, kicking over Tech 26 towers.
All I can think of is Charlie from Always Sunny, like taking off his shirt and just being like, "Wild card, bitches!"
I think that's just basically how Ben approaches all of my games, and I love it.
As I exit the elevator.
All right, you got your
Both
guns drawn. All right, so
Gun strong.
the elevator that you guys come out is right by lab, lab 2, and you know that lab 3 is off to your left, lab 1 is off to your right, and Sanjuro, you get off onto this floor. Something feels strangely familiar. As you look up at the lights in the ceiling, you have this memory of seeing identical lights kind of flashing above you, and then there's the smell of, so there's no smell in here, it's a clean room, but you distinctly have this memory that triggers of smoke and fire, and man, it's a little unnerving.
Eesh. All right. Is that associated with one of these directions?
It's as you give me just a straight mind roll.
I take a couple steps down towards 3. Are you hesitating?
Oh, well, that's bad.
I'll take that as a yes.
So here's a question: should I be playing my second chance on this mind roll?
So here's what happens. If you've mishapped, you are going to be very stymied until you take an actual action. Because you just have no there's this sense of kind of emotional and temporal vertigo going on.
All right. Well, this might be a good time to play that second chance card. So we'll
A 1 is not good. That's the only card that lets you reroll. Otherwise, you have to
Yes.
Well, that's still not great, but what mind? I just generated a total of 7.
With a 7.
Possibility. Possibility.
You can spend a possibility.
All right. I'll possibility that.
You can spend a possibility on a 1.
All right. Well, that gets me
So he re-rolled it.
19 for a total of 15.
With a
No,
total
wait,
of
sorry, I
50.
can't add. Hold on, I can't add.
Okay.
14.
Still. Okay, so not a good success, but a regular success. Yeah, no, you have a clear image in your mind that the last time you were standing here, the nice clean walls were like being stained with smoke. There were scorch marks, bullet holes, and they all, in your memory, all of the bullet holes and the smoke was definitely coming from the right-hand path, where Lab 3 lies down the left-hand side of the hall.
Well, I am going to loosen my sword in its sheath and take the safety off of my submachine gun.
Okay. So he's
And
definitely.
proceed to the left.
So you're heading to the left, down towards Lab 3.
Yes.
Okay.
If he
But I'm keeping my
continues
ear out for lab 1.
Okay. All right. So you, the three of you, and by the three of you, I mean Kano, Sanjuro, and the Hardlight drone, which eventually is going to need a name.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
Byron.
And it's B.Y.R.
Yes.
And I will assume you will come up with that acronym later. You guys get to Lab 3, and the clock is running. You're based off of what Auditor 17, Joe, and Frenchie are doing. You're guessing you got about 3 minutes. They bought you an extra minute. Because this is a corporate security team. When they get to where they're going and they don't see anything, they're immediately going to start spreading out and looking for things. So, what's the plan?
I'll move quicker.
Okay, well, you're at the lab door. You get there, it's this large metal blast door. And there's a control panel on the right and the left.
Frenchie, can you open the door?
The hardlight drone flashes red because I'm on a different floor. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the mainframe, aren't I? Or I'm in the,
Auditor
he's in the
17 is
computer.
in the mainframe.
I'm in comms.
You're in
Right.
comms.
Never mind. Auditor, can you open
Blinks,
the door?
blinks yellow, off, yellow, and I'll relay it to Auditor 17.
Okay, so I'll try the meat space manipulation.
Okay, go for it.
That's the first option. I have picks, but that probably takes longer. And I couldn't find what electronic lock picks do. Like, is it favored? Is it
Oh, it's-
bonus?
That'd be a nope. I get the music coming out of the door though.
Dun, 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 dun. So yeah,
Okay.
the hard light drone flashes red
Flash
again.
is red.
Game question. What does electronic lock picks give you? Is it favored or is it a bonus?
Let's look it up in the.
Yeah, I couldn't find
I'll make it favored. Let's just
Okay.
go with that.
Okay.
To keep things
Keep
rolling.
it rolling?
Yeah.
That's like first aid kit is a favored thing, it's no bonus.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That is straight up. I will spend a possibility.
And then,
because I want to get better.
Well, he rolls this. Hey, Joe, tell me when to stop.
23 on my
Stop.
electronic lock picks.
You want me to cut, or are you good?
Or however it works.
Okay.
Okay. All right. With a what? I'm sorry.
22 with electronic lock picks.
22 with electronic lockpicks. It takes you about, well, 22 is a good success. So you are able to get into the lab. The doors open, a little bit of like dry mist rolls out, and you can see on the inside there is a large, like the lights start to come on. No one's in here, but you can clearly see something's going on, and you can see that about 4 meters in, there's a large glass door, or glass windows, that overlooks the lab. And inside the lab, there are, on this broad glass and metal table, there are different just things on there, and there are robotic arms that are, some of them are shooting out, they're
They're doing
delivering, yeah, they're delivering high energy beams. And Kano, do you have any science ads?
No.
All right, so they are definitely delivering
Can-
beams.
If my hard light is seeing this along with him, can I roll?
Yeah, you can give me a science roll. And then we're going to jump back here in a second, but let me finish describing this for Mr. Furious and Mark here.
I would say as soon as we come in, we can shut the door.
Yes, you can definitely
So-
shut the door behind you.
16.
16? What it seems to be is they're subjecting to whatever this is, whatever these things are, to various high intensity energy wavelengths, infrared, ultraviolet, sonic, different things to see how they react. And every so often you guys see this flash of red and blue light that comes off of these. And what you can clearly see, Kano, on the table is there seems to be some sort of amulet that looks like it's got wings on it. You can see that there is a sword blade that has no hilt, like the hilt and the cross piece have been broken off.
I know who has that.
There is a small locket that's kind of laying out there, and then there is a that is it on the table. But off to the side, you see there's a side table. There looks to be like a computer screen where somebody's been taking notes, and next to it there is something that looks roughly tome shaped, but there is kind of like a sticky, waxy paper that's kind of enfolding it, and it seems to be like you can see the book seems to be leaking something into the wrappings. However, back on
Nutritional fluids?
yeah, it's definitely leading nutritional fluids. Let me just do one quick thing
So 4 things. Amulet, blade, locket, and a tome.
at a tome. Great.
Do I know what a book is?
Yeah, you totally know what a book is. So, meanwhile, on floor 12, Joe, as you are gleefully destroying things, Auditor 17 and Frenchie, Auditor 17, if you want, you can actually lock the room down. It does have a safe room mode. But you can hear the doors ding. So, by the way, Mr. Furious, don't worry about it. I realize you're having some camera issues.
I can hear you.
Perfect. If you can hear us and we can hear you, we're good with that. By the way, in case you are wondering, right below me there is a poster for tonight's episode. And as all of our posters have been made, I would like to thank Ben Restar here for putting that together for us. It is we always love it. It is just an additional little joy of running these things. So the elevator doors open, and a group of 4 corporate security come out. 2 of them have, and you guys can see this through the one-way.
Conference room, or
Yeah.
they just came out of the elevator?
They just came out of the elevator.
Okay.
They are wearing the ion armor, and they have Glock 9s pulled with electric katanas sheathed over their back, and they are led by 2 people in like full security armor, and they immediately spot Joe because they've been looking at this. And Joe, I'm pulling this first card. How we're going to do this is I'm going to run floor 12, then I will run floor 15, and then we'll just kind of keep jumping back and forth. So, floor 12, the card for this round is you are thrown back. Heroes go first, villains go second, but they will get a flurry. So flurry means they will get 2 actions this round as opposed to 1. And the approved actions are taunt or trick. So I'm gonna let you guys start. Joe, you're in the hallway. You can see these guys. They draw their Glocks. They point them right at you, and they say, "Drop your weapons, hands on the ground!" And the guy in charge kind of looks back. Secure the VIPs.
I would like to hope that Joe was already aiming directly down the hallway, not necessarily at their elevator, but directly down the hallway.
I'll allow it for this.
And I would like to hope that he had found an exterior window and or portal down that hallway that would say be in medium blast range of the elevator door.
So for a possibility, I will totally allow that.
Oh, most assuredly, I will spend a possibility.
So, Joe,
All right.
Joe,
So-
may I go first and make them vulnerable with a trick so that you can?
Perfect. Let's
So-
do it.
I want to pop around the edge of the conference room and fire at Joe close enough that it's possible, but I'm just throwing lead down the direction of the security people.
Now who's been tricked? Ben?
Best move in the game.
All right, so while he does this, I'll explain what's going on. So
Yeah, please.
you can use trick, taunt, maneuver, or intimidate to make what's called an interaction attack. And essentially, what you're doing is, if you succeed, you can actually make a group, and for each additional person, you take a -2 to your roll. But you can make people or a group easier to hit, so it drops their defenses by 2 or 4.
Okay.
Or you can make them it easier for your allies, or that's making it easier for your allies to attack them. Or you can like confuse them, basically make them stymied, and they take a -2, or if you roll well enough, a -4 to their next action. Because right in cinema, Torg is a very cinematic game, and you're able to pilot a motorcycle around some sort of walker with a rope attached to it and cause it to crash into the snow. Just hypothetical situation that I just, created. So what did you get, Auditor 17?
I assume I'm down 6 because I'm molting on 4 of them,
Yep.
correct?
That is correct.
So then my total is 15.
Well, nerds. So let's see here. I believe that is a nerds. That is a good success against against 2 of them, and that is a standard success against the other 2. But if you would like to, you would need a 16 in order to get a good success on all of them.
I spent my possibility already, so I think I'm out.
Okay. All right,
So-
so storm -4, and core -2. All right, so as they start, as you start firing lead down the hall, they're like, "No, we're here to help you. Stop! What?" And they have become vulnerable. 2 of them are vulnerable. 2 of them are very vulnerable against whatever Joe is about to do.
Okay. So Joe is throwing the explosive bird dart at the window. It's 13 armor piercing 2,
Okay.
and I'm just throwing it at the window.
Okay.
So I rolled a 21 with my aim.
Well, that's an outstanding success.
Okay. So then I'm going to, so that I hope, I'll roll the damage on the window, but then who's ever in the medium blast radius, I'm going to expend 2 extra shock on Path of the Wind to blow my opponents.
Out the window?
That's what I would have killed him.
You know, pressure change.
50, 50 meters back. So hopefully I'll blow out the window and then push some of those troopers directly outside the window.
I haven't frozen. I'm just. Okay.
Okay, so it's what did you say the exterior window hull was?
Oh, don't
believe
worry.
it
I
was-
totally. It's 14 with 4 armor. So if it's AP3,
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
I'm gonna armor pierce 2, and I'm at 13 plus 3 bonus die.
All right, 1 team down.
Just come on.
2 to go.
Auditor 17, while this is going on, you definitely get a message from the floor that says, "Do not worry. The CSO, Miss Harani, has arrived. She is heading in your direction." What'd you get?
Also-
Oh, go ahead.
That comes out to 29 armor piercing 2.
All right, and so how many shock do you have to expend to, and you blow back 3 of them how far?
I need glasses.
5-0?
15.
Okay, 15. I was like, well, they land safely across the street on the parking garage of the same level if it's 50
Blow
meters.
that. Oh wait, I do have to make a test.
Okay,
I need to make a standard strength test to blow them back 10 meters.
okay. Give me your standard strength test.
Okay.
So, in case you guys haven't noticed in the chat, 4 of our 5 players are using cool new things from the Pan Pacifica book that is being developed, and it is awesome. It is also very interesting. Like, I want to play a bunch of, like, I have like 6 characters that I've made for Pan Pacifica.
I have Path of the Gun and Path of Shadow.
So it is a standard success, but I would like to go ahead and spend a possibility
Okay.
and make that a good success.
Well, with a good success, especially the 2 vulnerable ones. So the 2 very vulnerable ones that Auditor 17 has distracted, you successfully defenestrate them and knock them clear out of the window. The last guy caught in the blast was the closest to you, and so as he hits, he actually manages to grab the edge of the window and actually kip ups into like a handstand and flips back in. And you see he looks and he just draws his katana as he looks at you. Auditor 17 will just touch base with you again. You got that message from the receptionist that she is leading a security team up to escort you off of the premises.
Okay, so I'll hit it and I'll say, be aware you're coming into a hot zone. Be aware you're coming into a hot zone.
Okay.
Hostiles are. Yep. And and could I have a card for the trick?
Oh yeah,
this?
you totally can. Sorry about that. You have flurry now.
Oh, cool.
Yes, all the ampersands you noticed, and you heard him correctly. There are flashback mechanics that are defined in the new Pan Pacifica book, and they're fantastic. And if we get to use them tonight, you'll get to see them. Floor 12, there are now 2 guys left. One of them has murder in his eyes.
Murder at us?
No,
Or murder
definitely
at
not
Joe?
you. You 2 are like,
We're
you
the
guys are the
VIPs.
VIPs. You're
Yeah.
fine.
Can they even see us because we're in this room?
They
with
can.
opaque
They,
glass?
they know you're in there, and they
Okay.
can see Auditor 17 because he definitely ducked out the window and was like, or out the door and was firing.
Yeah. Okay. Auditor 17, are we engaging in direct violence against them, or are we maintaining our cover as VIPs? We're about to get kicked out of the building as VIPs.
Remember, 3 came in, so 1 guy's stuck in the latrine somewhere.
Greg, did you hear me?
Yeah,
No.
he's asking Auditor. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Are we now engaging in direct violence, or are we attempting to maintain our cover as VIPs?
I think you are now engaging in direct violence.
Fantastic. I will duck out then and shoot the guy with murder in his eyes. How
Okay.
do I?
How do you do that? Well, what
Yes.
weapon would you like to use?
Well, I have a God meter laser, so I would like to introduce him to God.
Okay, that is you're really putting the meat in
Yeah, oh, yeah, I know.
meeting God. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna make an energy weapons roll, and tell me what.
Sorry. Energy weapon roll?
Yep, give me an energy
Okay.
weapon roll. Now remember, at the end of your turn is when you can put one of your cards in play. So you
Gotcha.
don't have access
Okay.
to any of your cards. Your Cosm card can be played at any time.
Right.
But, all right, what'd you get?
Oh, I have plans for my Cosm card. Energy weapons 14.
Okay, so a 14 is a standard success.
Okay.
If you want to spend a possibility and up it, every level of success above it gives you an extra bonus die of damage.
It's usually 5 points.
Oh, cool. Sure, I got 4. Why not?
All right, so roll another die and add it in.
And add it to that first roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So add another d20?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, if it's less than
That's
10, it
not-
counts as a 10. And if it is an actual 10 or a 20, it will explode.
Okay, 16.
And the first roll,
So I rolled a 15.
And then what did you roll on the second die?
16.
So you got a 31, which is a.
Which is a bonus of 10.
So what's your total?
So 22.
All right, so a 22 is a good success.
Okay.
is there any AP?
Damage.
What's
No.
the damage on your weapon?
15.
Okay, so then roll 1 bonus die of damage. So it's just a d6, and remember, if you get a 6, it's actually a 5 and it explodes.
3.
All right, so you got a total of 18. All right, so your God meter laser, there is this flash down the hallway at the guy standing in front of the window. His helmet has come off during the flip, long hair just kind of blowing in the breeze, papers wrapping around his legs, and then he gets hit in the chest with a. You know what doesn't help you, Soaking? Possibilities when you get knocked out of a 12th story window. Thanks for that. I'm watching. So he would take 1 wound and 2 shock. He's going to attempt to soak it.
That's what makes it a reality roll.
So he will make a reality
Okay.
roll. If he gets at least a 10, he'll ignore your damage.
Okay.
Well, he rolled a 2, so we're definitely going to bump that up with one of my beta clearance possibilities. So a 12 is a 0, but he has a reality of 12. So as you hit him, he brings the katana, and the electrified katana kind of meets the laser, the bolt from your God meter, and it just kind of travels up the arc of the katana into the ceiling, and a light explodes above this guy.
Cool.
You can put one of your cards into play.
Just any one of
Yep.
them?
On floor 15, what are the 2 of you guys doing?
Well, we haven't seen anyone yet, right?
You haven't seen anyone, but there are 4
Kano
artifacts.
closed the door behind you.
Great.
and you
Oh.
you know that as soon as they figure out that where they were called to is wrong, they are definitely going to start doing a room-to-room clear of the floor.
Right. So let's grab the Eternity Shards.
Yeah, there's an amulet, a
All of
blade, a
them.
locket, and a tome.
All of it.
Do you want to grab the tome because that's on a separate table?
Sure. The tome was oozing, right?
The tome is oozing.
It's wrapped in something, so I would wrap it in something
Yeah,
else.
Let's not.
You
Yeah,
can see that it's
Is there a bag in here?
I have my briefcase.
no. You could put it in Kano's briefcase.
All right. Well, we put it in the briefcase.
I'll take my stuff out.
All right.
Sorry,
I just for no reason whatsoever, I need you to make a charisma check.
I'll go grab the amulet.
Oh, great.
Kind of putting him in the
Oh,
briefcase.
charisma.
Yep. Straight
Charisma
charisma
check.
check.
All right. Doo-doo-doo.
By the way, can you climb? Because I can climb. And I'm.
All right. Well, that's not great. That's a 6. I might spend a possibility on that.
Okay. You want to spend a possibility on it? Go for it.
All right. All right. Possibility.
Can I see an outside window?
There is no outside window to this lab.
The lab. Okay.
Yeah, the lab is what you can. When you walked through, the doors were really thick. You're pretty convinced that if this lab goes into lockdown, no one's getting in or out.
Okay. We'll have to get in the hallway and deal with
Right. So I got a 15.
You got a 15. So when you pick it up, you briefly hear a number of you can hear whispers as if the book is talking to you. You get the intense feeling that the book is dangerous. But
But so is Joe, but we like him.
yeah, I mean, so Joe and Malachi, they're all super dangerous. But the thing that comes through, you hear this kind of cacophony of voices, and then you hear, "Not the one. This one has no soul," and the voices kind of recede back to a dull murmur.
That's harsh.
Sorry, Joe.
All right, so you guys have the stuff. Are you just heading back to the
We
elevator?
need to head out or find an outside window so that we can bust a hole and pull a Joe move, but I'll have to climb
All right.
physically.
I think we should just go back to the elevator. We've done this in how much time?
You've done this in you're 90 seconds into this at this point.
Yeah.
I have a question for the auditor. Will my psionic updraft power allow either us to reach the 15th or them to float back down to the 12th?
We are coming down.
His bike
But
is
we
on
don't
the
have to use
floor.
the elevator.
Yeah, I'd say yes, but I think we're getting us all together on the floor, giving the incoming is probably a good idea.
But I have a brilliant plan.
Excellent.
A plan so brilliant that if
So-
you put a tail on it, you could call it a fox.
And Jiro, can you carry the briefcase? Because I really need to have both guns free.
All right, I will carry the briefcase in one hand and have my electric katana in the other.
Very
Okay.
But my plan is to try to. I have a number of flash grenades.
Oh, good.
If we need them.
Right.
Okay.
And these are built around a bright, burning magnesium core,
They are.
which means that they're going to burn through a lot of stuff.
They are. They
So-
they definitely are.
So I want to go over to Lab 1, slash open both control panels, and I'm going to set a grenade in each of those
Okay. So you're going
on a delay.
Okay.
And so we're going to set those, and then we're going to and you're going to try to set them off so that they go off as we get the elevator closes.
Okay. So, you see that when you get to the elevator, he heads down to Lab 1, drawing the katana. Are you going with him or are you holding the elevator?
I will go with him.
All right, I will tell you guys what happens on the next round because as you
Question: are the guards considered wards? Because I have a power that works against wards.
You're not sure. So, some of them are reality rated, some of them are orts. I will let you know if they show up what you can do. So you're going to slash open the control panels here.
Yes.
Okay, I will come back to you here in a second. Meanwhile, back on the first floor, or on floor 12, one of them opens fire on Frenchie. And Frenchie, so your dodge is 12. And because you were firing from a door, you have cover.
Ooh.
So you have 2 extra points of armor against this shot. Because the guy in the lead who was focused on, who didn't actually move, and he was focused on Joe, sees the God meter flash and just reflexively tries to double tap into
it's a good instinct.
into your chest. So he got a 24 on the die. So that is a fire combat of 21. So that is a good success against you. So your armor right now is 14 against this. He gets 1 bonus die of damage.
So the dodge is...
My target number to hit you. It's like your AC.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so with your 14, he hits you for 2 shock. It hits your armor. It's a little stunning. So if your shock ever hits 0, you're knocked out.
Okay.
So you just take 2 shock. You can, if you want, spend a possibility to try and negate it, but there's really no reason to. Shock comes back at the end of the fight. So.
Okay, cool.
The other guy definitely charges. He charges right at Joe. He runs past you in a blur of movement. And with his electric katana, he is going to try to decapitate or delimb Joe. So, Joe, what is your melee defense, please?
My melee defense is a 9.
Is a 9?
9.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Melee or unarmed?
It's melee.
He can use unarmed if he wants to try to.
So the electric katana hits you up 10. Hits you with a 25, so that is definitely an outstanding success. As the blade comes down, your armor is only. He cuts through your armor because he has AP2 on this thing. So you have 7. 7. 6. 11. Oh, good lord. 25 minus 7 is 17. That'll be 3 wounds and 6 shock as he brings the electric katana from your left shoulder and tries to cut it all the way down to your right hip.
We shall see.
I wish I had my helmet on so I could more accurately say something like, "It was my arrogance, not the sword, that did the damage."
Are you going to try and soak it, sir?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You don't want to take 3 wounds just first round? Because they get a second attack.
Oh, man. Okay, so that's a 14 is a plus
1.
1?
Yep.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, so I'll have to spend another. Oh no! Wait, I will use my my willpower that I put in to make it a standard success.
All right, a standard success.
I'm gonna be 2 wounds in.
Yeah, you'll take 2 wounds, but you'll ignore all of the shock. However, he follows it up with a second attack because they have flurry this round. And as you watch, this guy brings a second sword strike, kind of coming up from the left hip to the right shoulder, marking Joe with an X across his chest. 14 minus 10. So that'll be 2 wounds and 4 shock, Joe, on the second one. I'm gonna need another reality roll from you, buddy. No, I don't apologize. I'm the GM. This is the way the game works. The second shot hits you for a wound and 2 shock.
Okay.
So you can spend a possibility to soak. And what that does is that lets you make a reality roll. And if you get at least a 10, you'll ignore all of the damage.
Sure, let's do that.
So you spend 1 just to make the roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can still spend 1 if you roll really bad.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
need to.
Okay.
Okay, so that is a 20 with modified.
So you'll ignore everything.
Roll the
Yep.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I mean, I still took 2.
18
Still 2 wounds.
is...
You still have 2
plus
wounds.
I
5.
see. 18 is
Oh,
plus
sure,
5
to
to
your
your
Still
reality
2.
roll.
But I'm doing really good
And I'm
otherwise.
rolling what? Oh, reality.
Reality.
Oh, fantastic. So 15.
Just a flesh
There
wound.
you go.
All right. So you managed to kind of duck back just in time so that the blast, the 9mm shells kind of go through the doorway, but not you.
Okay.
The new action is they regroup. Heroes will go first, villains will recover 2 shock, and taunt is the approved action. But we're gonna start with floor 15. So Sanjuro, you and Kano get to the door. You cut the thing open with your grenades ready to.
Are we considering combat to play cards?
Yeah,
We
you-
really do
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
I mean,
You still have to put cards in play.
Okay.
So.
All right.
What were you gonna say,
Putting
Mr.
your cards
Furious?
in play. I want to put C's initiative in play then if we're in combat.
You are. All
Last
right.
time.
So you got C's initiative in play. What do you have in play, Mark?
master plan.
All right. So you slice the control panels. You have your grenades set up. The doors open up, and there's lights on in this. There is a small Chinese woman in a lab coat, and she's got some sort of data pad and a stylus, and she is walking around, making little marks on a tablet as if she is, and you can see that there are these glass tubes that go from floor to ceiling, and there are tubes that are coming into these things, cables that are coming into these things. These are lit from underneath, and each one of the dozen tubes there's something floating in the tubes. You can see like a breath mask. You can see bubbles every so often kind of going. It looks like there may have been 14 or 15 tubes in here, but there's like plastic wrap on the far side that kind of extends from floor to ceiling. And as the door opens, she turns around and
Poor Injiro.
what was that?
Poor Injiro.
She looks right at you, Senjiro, and she says, Shishan? Is that you? And it's really weird to be called 13. And as you guys kind of take it all in, you're standing there with the grenades in your hand, you realize that every one of those 12 tubes holds a U. You're putting the romance card into play, Ben?
No, I was offering it. I was proffering it in trade.
I'm not sure, but I think this is my mom, so let's not go there.
Well, there's
So-
8 kinds of love in Greek.
So you see, that's what
I don't think
you
that's
guys
one
see.
of them.
What are you guys doing?
I'm throwing the grenades.
All right, so you chuck both of the grenades in. Her eyes go wide, and she looks like she's going to try and leap into the back half of the room. What are you doing, Kano? You're going to shoot at her? All right, go for it, and you guys will still have enough time in this round to get back to the elevator.
And of course, passive the gun, I will double tap, which allows me to basically increase
The
attack-
damage?
The attack roll.
Okay. Then we're going to drop back down to the 12th floor. Like, literally, we're going to drop back down to the 12th floor.
$22.
You get an outstanding success.
Okay.
You know who's not reality rated? This scientist.
And you barely hear Sanjiro. They actually describe it as like Hollywood movie silence.
Yeah, you got the little, just the puff of
They're
air.
Arlington Assassin 9mm.
Nice.
Ooh, Infinity. infinity. So that's 30 AP2.
Yeah, she's dead. She hits the ground and kind of slides in. The grenades are on a delay, so as the doors close and you make it back to the elevator, you both hear kind of this muffled explosion as the grenades go off, and all of a sudden halogen gas starts flooding down as the doors to the elevator close and you start heading down. On floor 12, let's start with Auditor 17. What are you doing with your action, sir?
First, I'm going to play the Inspire card that I had in the pool so that everybody can have their choice of a possibility or just draw from the Destiny deck.
What would you like? We'll start with you.
I'll take a draw from the Destiny deck.
You've got leadership.
Cool.
Mr. Furious, what do you want?
I'll take a draw, please.
You get alertness. Mark, a draw. You get you want a possibility?
Possibility, man.
Oh, okay.
I burn through these things.
I think I will also just take a possibility.
All right, and then Ben, what do you need?
Possibility.
Okay. All right, so
I'm bleeding. I need a possibility.
oh, these wounds hurt so much. So he's
So
at a
there's-
-2 to everything that he does. Like the final total, every wound is a penalty to your final roll.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Fun times.
All right, so what are you doing, Auditor 17?
So the situation is we've got the person who's shooting at Frenchie and the one who's trying to sashimi Joe over there.
Yes, and you have something coming up in the elevator.
Yeah.
Right. I will deal with that in a second. So I will try to shoot the person who's going to dice my friend.
All right. Their dodge is at 13. I'll just toss that out there.
All right. Ooh. Yeah, I'll risk a possibility. Thank you.
Putting alertness into my pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put leadership into my pool. So that's a. Fortunately. So that's 8 and fire combat. So 21 total.
All right, that is a good success.
All right. Be nice to me, dice. Well, you know. So that's a total of 16.
A total of 16 versus.
I think that's right.
All right, so they will take a wound and 2 shock. I'm going to spend a possibility to try and soak it. Nope. It's a mishap. So you put a shot right through this guy's head, and it snaps to the side, and he slumps down to the ground.
Yeah. Dang, another bonus I have to sign for that family.
Just for the security cams.
Frenchie and Joe, what are you guys doing?
It's just the one guy left?
There's just the one guy
Sure.
left.
Joe, go for it.
What are you planning on doing? Because I have an attack, but it is going to be a multi-interaction attack. So if you could make him vulnerable, that would benefit me, but it doesn't matter.
If you want to taunt him and draw his fire, that could make him
Oh,
vulnerable.
Can I taunt and then also hold something? Can you hold something for a trigger?
No, so like you take your
Okay.
turn and
You can taunt him and shoot him.
yeah, you can
You
do
get a
both.
-2 penalty.
Can I tell how close the elevator is?
Sure. There's one elevator that's on 15 that's now just hit 14.
Okay.
And the other elevator that you can see is on 6 and just hit 7.
Okay, and so that's not going to be here for a minute or so?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sure, I will, so how do I make him vulnerable?
So
I
you would
can
make
do-
you could, if you do a taunt,
Uh-huh.
you would actually get a destiny card if you're successful.
Oh, okay.
But you could also like maneuver by like charging him and knocking him out, or like throwing something at him. You could trick him and be like, "Look out!" Or
well, my taunt is not great. So,
You can do other things to make him vulnerable. You just get a bonus card if you can taunt him.
I'll let you know
Gotcha.
their taunt is not great either. So basically, you would need to hit a 9 is the target number. they're not great.
Sure, I will.
Dude, you should. I'm all one trick.
Sure, I will taunt him.
Okay, give me the taunt.
So it's one roll for both skills, whatever you're trying
Well,
to
no,
do.
he's not.
Just
I think he's
taunting?
just doing the straight taunt, right?
Yeah,
You're not-
just
okay,
straight
go
taunt.
for it.
Okay.
Yep, just straight taunt.
What'd you get?
6, which is a -4, so 4.
Do you want to spend a possibility?
I think I probably do.
All right.
So remember, that's always a minimum of 10, and add it to your.
Yeah.
So 10
So,
plus.
so 16, so 3, so 11.
So 11 is enough to make him vulnerable.
Okay.
So what? How do you taunt him?
Oh, how do I taunt him?
Yeah.
They're not down here yet, right?
Nope, not yet.
Where's the rest of your party?
Yeah, it's, I'll just look at him and say, "It's just you now!" And then I will, just kind of step to the side and gesture to Joe, like shielding his approach and then stepping aside right as he comes up.
All right, Joe, what are you doing? The guy's definitely vulnerable.
So I'm glad that you said it's just you now, because I look at him and I look at him and I look at the slumped body on the floor with the katana that just slashed me.
Yeah, blood
And
kind of
actually,
seeping out from under the plates of your armor.
slowly look back into his eyes and say, "And we're trading partners." And I'm going to multi-action. That's a taunt
Okay.
to him.
Oh, by the way, here's your.
But also, I am going to air vehicles my power armor straight out the window,
Okay.
hoping that if I can get an outstanding taunt, he will chase me enough to just fall out the window.
I mean, the other thing you could do is you could do if you want to do a maneuver to kind of do the flying tackle and take him out the window with you.
Well, so I think grapple rules are strength.
In this case, if you're just flying at him, I'd allow it just to be a maneuver. It's up to you, though.
Okay, well, can I air vehicles against his strength,
Sure.
which is
10.
okay, all right.
Evil chuckle.
That looks like it was a 10 or a 20.
I've
That
got
was
glory in play.
Okay, wait, okay.
All right,
okay.
if
So
another alternate
that's
group
34. Wait,
scores a
that's
glory,
only
I'm just gonna
34.
like switch to one of the alternate groups.
it's only 34,
Okay.
but why wouldn't I juice it? Okay, so that's a 49. I don't have anything that'll
Again.
take it higher than
Okay. So a 49 is a plus 13. I'm
Okay.
going to assume
So that's-
that you got an outstanding success.
that. Well, let's see. That's 24 on the air vehicles.
Okay.
And
He's
also a
vul-
24 on my taunt.
And he's vulnerable. So, all right. So your card that you get is drama. You hit this guy, Auditor 17 in Frenchie. You just see him kick on his jets and fly at this guy, grab him, and the two of them leave. They have Joe has left the building. There are no villains right now, so we're gonna stop combat right now until. I mean, you've got about 30 seconds. The doors to the elevator open. Kano and a very haunted-looking Sanjuro are there. What do you guys do? So,
Do we get rid of
Let's
shock?
go.
not yet. It's got to be the end of the scene.
Oh yeah.
What's the plan?
Let's go.
Okay, so
Time to go.
the last thing I want to do at the computer terminal
Go for it.
is get there and shut the elevators down
All right.
and play some insipid music like your boots are made for walking on a loop in the elevator. And
Give
then we
me a
can leave.
computer roll for that.
Can it just be that these boots were made for walking?
Yeah, exactly.
These boots were made.
And it's amazing
I'll
how he
spend the
put that
possibility.
needle skip in there. Like that's
right.
some high level
So I'll
hacking.
spend the possibility. And since I have the ability that I get to with my hyper focus, I really want this to succeed, so I'm up on my mind task for this.
So it
Oh, now it pays off.
gives you a free extra roll.
Free roll, so that's 1731. That's total of 47.
All right.
Plus 13.
So yeah, so that's plus 13 and 13, 26.
All right. So this is going to be a player's call. So Auditor 17, let me just ask. So you stop the elevator. You put the thing on loop. How badly do you piss off everyone in here for when the Horsemen show up next week? Like, are they? The law of vengeance is one of the laws in play. Play Bloodbath. Okay.
So I think I am. I'm really pissing them off. They're as part of my original job. They cook these books so badly.
They did.
They are complete clowns. So I have to make them pay for it. So I think what I'll do is I'll have that boots are made for walking in the background. So they got players call. I'm going to have her address to the board of directors of their company, where she explains how everything is clean and perfect, and just let her hear her own words over and over again, along with the boots are made for walking, one out of one speaker, the other out of the other speaker. And then we can take off.
All right. So how do you guys escape the building? Like, what's the plan here? I know that one of you has a motorcycle.
So how high is the parking garage on the other side?
The parking garage on the other side is 10 stories.
So we're on 12. You
Okay.
can just fly out the
Where are the
hole
12
that Joe
stories?
made
Okay.
with one person on your motorcycle, and I have climbing gear, so I can just
You're gonna rappel down.
and I can.
All right.
I would like to give Tanjiro on the motorcycle. I'll play leadership, give him flurry and adrenaline to give him a couple shots at making this motorcycle stunt.
Okay.
Okay. Marine adrenaline. All right. All right. And my motorcycle, my trademark vehicle means I am favored on this roll.
All right. So here's
Can
my question.
Can you take a
One,
passenger?
are you can take a passenger, and are you taking the briefcase?
Well, that's a passenger can kind of hold that.
Mission was to recover the Eternity Shards. I'm taking the Eternity Shards.
Okay, just the
Whoever else
Eternity
has the
Shards.
rest of.
I'd enjoy being a passenger because I am not a climber.
All right. Well, come on.
All right.
So I turn around and say the order. Come with me if you want to live.
You can have a possibility for that one.
I cannot climb.
All right.
You have a fairly good.
I'll
depth.
slide in behind.
All right.
All right. While you go ahead and give me the roll, Sanjiro. Meanwhile, in the night, Joe is flying triumphantly and then just lets this guy go. Where he joins the other 3 people who were blown out the window. All right, so Auditor 17 gets on your back. You've got the briefcase. Give
right.
me the roll.
Well, right now we're at a 14, and I'm spending a possibility on that.
Okay. You guys can all hear the sounds of sirens starting to get closer to the building through the windows that have been blown out. Some of those sirens are ended by Flying Sniper Joe.
All right. So I currently have a land vehicles total of 21.
All right, that is a good success. If you can get 3 more points, you will have an outstanding success, and I will let you narrate this.
You counting the cards?
All right. Well, in that case, I'll play that adrenaline card and
All
push
right.
it up to it. I say this.
Mr.
So-
Furious, what does it look like?
All right. Well, I we back the motorcycle back up to as far as back as it can go, and first I pull out my Kyogo 144 SMG and I shoot out the window in front of us, and then I put it around and we buckle and I say, "Hold on," and then I start revving up the engine. It's just like. So the back wheel is spinning as hard as it can go. It's just like we're like this is slipping sideways. Then I let her rip. And just as we come up to the window, there is a cubicle wall that has been laid down on the floor in such a way it provides a slight upward ramp to give us a boost over into the air. And we soar across the street and land very, very, very firmly.
Yep.
Very firmly on the 2 stories down on the parking garage, and then we're burning it down the ramps all the way.
So you have the option of waiting for the rest of your team or heading right to Maru to deliver the Eternity Shards. What would you like to do?
Well, I think the correct thing to do is to wait and see if everyone else gets out.
All right.
But we'll wait on the street.
Okay.
We'll wait on the street.
You spiral down. Joe is providing cover fire. How did the two of you get out of the building?
Can you ride your drone?
No, it's a hard
No,
light.
my drone is tiny. So I have something called Comte's shock knocks,
Yeah.
which discharge. It discharges electricity. Is that? Can I? Basically, what I want to do is run at the same gap as the motorcycle just went out, and as I leave, just slam them into the ground.
No,
to
it's
help
more like
propel
having
me.
a taser.
It's more like having a taser.
Yeah. You
Shoot.
give me your climb roll if you want to try and.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I have climbing gear.
You can attempt anything unskilled as long as it's not a bolded skill. So you can attempt climbing down
And
with
the
his
climbing
climbing
gear
gear.
allows you to use dex instead of strength, if I remember the rule right. There's normally just a strength check.
Mhm.
So do you have a higher dex than strength?
No, I have a higher strength.
So you can just
Then
make a
you
straight
climb.
strength
Use
roll.
strength.
Just
to
okay.
climb.
I will just use a.
All right, give me
straight
your
strength
climbing
then.
gear as the two of you start to rappel out of the side of the Nanjing Court building.
Okay. I'm going to play drama. It says play this card as a possibility.
Yes, so you can actually play that card and a possibility on top of it if you
Okay.
want.
So can I wait until after I roll?
Yeah.
You roll that one and then
Yeah.
add. Okay.
Just normal, hard.
This is actually a hard test because it is even with climbing gear, it's a sheer building down. So
Yeah,
DM
so the
is
climbing gear I
10.
almost bought
So
those little greasy
21.
gloves.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
So what's a hard?
14
14.
is what you need.
Okay. So if I roll a 1 on a possibility, it's still
It
a
still
10?
it counts as a 10.
Still counts as a 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's an 18.
All right.
22.
All right, so the two of you quickly descend, meet up with the rest of the group, and about an hour later, you are back at the Delphi Council safe house, where Maru waits for you. And as you walk in, you can see that there's an eclectic group of people behind them. There's a woman in a Monster Hunter duster. There is a young woman, definitely from the cyber papacy, with cybernetic eye, arm, and deck. There is a strange man who looks a little haunted in the eyes, but has like weird, almost pulpy like gear on him. And there is a woman with a domino mask, a large hat, and a duster and twin guns. She's like, "Did you get it?"
Can I interrupt this real quick and play Feud?
You want to play Feud?
Sure.
What does it do?
Someone is out to get your hero. A nondescript bystander might recognize him for some past misdeed or evengeful
Oh, I've
foe,
got
might
this.
stalk him from the shadows. The foe might attempt an ambush, frame him for some crime or offense, or simply tarnish his reputation. Gain 1 to 3 possibilities depending on the strength of the foe.
Yes, you can have 3 possibilities
Crap.
because as we draw this to a quick close, the screen fades to black. 6 hours later, flashes up, and the elevator door. Oh, did you want to do something? Sorry, Ben.
No, I'm just saying it was Lapis.
Oh, it is Lapis. It's totally Lapis.
We did it.
The doors to as the camera fades back in, the elevator door is on the first floor, and you can just see there's blood that is starting to leak out of the elevator. And the door opens up, and there are 6 corporate security guards lying dead. And this woman walks out, and you can see she is like clawed at the side of her face and her ears, and she has drawn blood. And she looks at the waiting paramedics, the corporate paramedics, and the corporate security guards. She says, "Find out who that auditor was." And we'll bring that to a close. Guys, thank you so much. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's good. It's
It
fun.
was a nice and simple run. That was, by the way, the most brilliant amount of play. I've run a lot of Shadowrun, so I was very excited about doing this. And I just need to say, out of all of the decades of running games, that might have been the most smoothly any corporate run has ever gone. So well done. Chat, thank you for joining us. Greg, Ben, Greg, Mark, Josh, thank you all for joining us. As always, thank you to our amazing producer who manages all of the technical side of things, keeps me informed of the chat. Chat, you guys are spectacular. I do hope to invite some of you guys back for the Pan Pacifica arc at various points to do little guest stars, as the Horsemen next week have arrived in Pan Pacifica. As I mentioned several weeks ago, we will be joined by Becca, who will again be playing Lapis for this arc. Ben is already fuming at this revelation. So we will see how that
She's the
goes.
security chief?
No, she's gonna play Lapis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, you though have definitely made a feud with the Nanjing CSO, one Ms. Harani. She will be after the Horsemen, aware of their actions, and will be coming back from them. Who knows, maybe Bureau G will be called upon again to help rescue. Let's be honest, the Horsemen have needed a lot of rescuing over this campaign. So maybe there will be a rescue game. But I will do my best to let you guys know when I can have guest stars come back into this next arc. Until next time, check out all the other great shows on the Ulysses International channel. There's a ton of material on Torg, Fading Suns, Myth, both the board game and the role-playing game. Every Thursday, Ulysses Worlds goes up, which is just a news show kind of keeping everyone updated on what cool stuff is going on at Ulysses. Also, check out Iconic Production. That's where we run our games. Josh runs a game every Friday night. 5th edition game, the most aptly titled campaign of all time. It gets worse. It's always entertaining, but it does get worse. And follow Ulysses here on Twitch. Follow them on YouTube. If you're watching it on YouTube, check them out on social media. Go and find us on social media and like the poster for Bureau G that was produced again by the illustrious Ben. And we will see you all on Thursday for a follow-up to the Fading Suns game. We can finally find out what happens with Tag and Gregor and Lucia and the crew of the Old Boy. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. I am JM, your GM, and this has been our very first Bureau G game. Have a good one. We'll see you on Thursday, and we'll be back next week with more Torg.